Let's talk about some impact wrenches. What I have, why I bought it, what I was thinking when I did so. All right, so in front of you are an assortment of impact wrenches. These devices, obviously, they spin things in a circle on depending upon the direction that you choose. When they reach the end of their turn and they stop, they back up and then hit it again in a hammering motion. So that's why they call them impact wrenches. They impact the bolt, the fastener, as they turn. Much like a hammer drill hammers as it turns, these hammer this way, do this kind of thing. So these are my impact wrenches, the ones that I bought. These are all from Harbor Frieght. Every single one of them. They can be quite pricey elsewhere. So this is the order that I bought them in. I bought this one first, and then this one, and then these two the same day. And I'm going to tell you why I bought these two the same day in a moment. So this is the first one that I bought. I've had this one probably since 2006. It's a Chicago electric impact wrench, 1/2-inch drive. You can see this is a big, heavy tool. It's got a huge motor in it. My dad had one very similar. I think his was a Craftsman. He was a big Craftsman tool fan. I am too, but sometimes I just can't afford to go and, load up my garage. This one has failed within the past year in this switch. When you click it on, you can see there, you have to move it back. It's supposed to be a momentary switch with a spring-loaded action to, when you click on it, it's supposed to turn back off again. It doesn't. Click in reverse, it does not go back. That's the failure point right there. The momentary switch is now a maintaining switch. It still works. It still works quite well, and I've used it quite a bit. I could probably, when I say quite a bit, I could probably still list on both my hands and remember exactly every time that I've used this. You don't use a giant impact wrench like this very often, but when you do need one, you need one. There's no other way to get around it. If you need an impact wrench, you need an impact wrench. And this, I want to say I bought it for like $30 back in 2006. I haven't priced one recently. I'll probably never buy another electric one again. These are always good to have, an electric one, especially if you're starting out, you don't have an air compressor. You need this tool. You need this one. This is your first impact wrench you should buy, unless you have a big air compressor like I do that can drive one. So I always wanted a air-powered one. So when I bought my first compressor, I said I want an air-powered one, and you can see the difference. This one does the same job as this one, and this is all, it's a motor, this big copper windings and stuff. This whole piece is a giant motor, and you gotta lug that thing around just to use it. This doesn't have a motor, just air goes in and it pushes a turbine, and it does the same amount of work. So this is, it's metal casing and stuff. It's much lighter, much more ergonomic. It's short. That's a big deal. If you need to take anything out underneath the hood of your vehicle or wherever, it's short. Much shorter than this. You're not going to be able to fit this in those tight spaces. And it's got the same 1/2-inch drive head on there. So why did I buy these? This one was underpowered. It worked really well, but when I bought my big fat diesel truck, getting the lugs off was a task for this one. It sat there and hammered away at the lugs forever just to get, a couple lugs off. And for one tire to take that long, to get one wheel off, you can tell it's underpowered. It's not doing its job. and you might be maxing out the capability of it. And you don't ever want to max out your tools because then you're going to break them. Like, they work for their intended purposes, but you should use the right tool for the right job. And this tool is the right tool for the right job, and the right job is not my big fat diesel truck. It's just not enough power. So I went to the store and at the Harbor Frieght, and I got this one. This is their professional central pneumatic earthquake. This is the expensive one. I think it's like $70. They have, for the same price, you can get one with a shorter anvil. This one is the extended. This is the anvil. This one has the extended anvil. I figured, why, if I'm going with this big of a tool, nothing's going to be in a tight space. I'm just going to be doing lugs on something heavy that's right in front of me. Why would I go with a shorter one if for some reason I might need the extended bit to, get the distance? And I bought other impact extensions, some swivel, some not swivel, at Harbor Frieght. So I can reach anything I need with this and get loads of power, professional quality power on that fastener. This guy, you're thinking, oh, that's really small and cute. I love this thing. I've used it. It works great. I have air ratchets of different sizes that I picked up. This is much faster for getting stuff off of a vehicle. You put the appropriate size socket and or adapters on here, and it just whizzes them off. An air ratchet, you have 90-degree bend. It goes slower. It doesn't have as much torque. With the impact feature, it will definitely get stuck fasteners off of the bottom side of a rusty car. It'll get it off of there. The other feature I like about this, it doesn't have this giant pistol grip hammer with this piece right here, like this one or this one. It doesn't have this pistol grip. You just grab it like this, and this little dealie up top here is the butterfly operator. So you just, one way is forward, one way is backwards. And that's it. You can fit your hand in a tight spot in this little tiny tool, and you just operate it and it goes. And then, if your hose doesn't fit in there right, this swivels. You got a little swivel banjo connection for the air to go on. You can adjust the flow rate there. There's a little regulator valve. Same for this one, the little regulator. This one, I don't know. I think the regulator's on the back. Yeah, back here. That's where the regulator is on this one. So you got reverse and different speeds, different powers of forwards. Reverse is going to be full force because it doesn't really matter. So that's much nicer. Like, if you know the torque value for each one of those, that's perfect. I could probably use this all the time and never pick this up. But sometimes, again, this one is shorter. It doesn't have the extended anvil. And if I need to use this one because of, the length of the operating tool, this one's very long. And because this one's less torque, that's probably all I'm going to need. If it's a hidden, bolt way up in somewhere that needs this power and not this power, this one is a good intermediate between this one and this one. So that's why I chose the specific ones in the order. Again, this one, I was young and poor, and I didn't have a air compressor to run it. One of these. This was the second one. This is the cheapest and the most purposes that I could do with this. This one because I needed more power and possibly more extension on the higher powered applications. And then this one to do the fancy under the hood work to get rusty fasteners out very quickly. So that is my collection if you will, of impact wrenches. Impact guns? Impact guns. I'm going to say guns. That's probably good. So this concludes my video. I hope this was useful to you guys. And that is all. Have an outstanding, wonderful day.